Welcome to China 101 class. Today we're going to talk about going to the doctor in China. The level of healthcare has substantially been raised over the last 30 years in China. So if you do get sick traveling in Greater China region, don't be afraid to go to the health facilities to get treatment. Now, one of the things you need to be aware of is that most of the health professionals, particularly at the lower level, whether it's the secretary who books you at the hospital or the nurse, English ability will probably not be that good. Even the doctors who train in China, particularly the older ones, are familiar with English medical terms, but they'll write all of their notes in Chinese, and their communication ability is probably not that good. So if you have a detailed ailment or something that's very specific, they might have a hard time initially understanding what the cause is. Now, of course, the facilities in China are increasing, and there's also a wide array of potential problems that you can run into. For example, if you're some of the inner provinces, the healthcare is not as good as some of the larger cities. There's also several tiers of hospitals and clinics that you can go to. If you're sick and don't have a serious ailment, you can go to a clinic, and usually there'll be one or two doctors on staff that can prescribe you antibiotics or some simple medication that can help you get better. If you have a serious injury, you need to go to a hospital to get intensive care treatment or for an emergency. So if you're in China, don't expect to be able to communicate in English unless you're talking with a younger nurse or a younger doctor who has spent time and actually has a fair degree of competency in spoken English. Now, the actual care that you receive is pretty good. Some of the clinics in China and the hospitals are public. Usually these are crowded and you'll wait a long time to see a doctor. If you have the money, I would go to a private clinic. Usually the English language ability is higher and the level of care is also higher. Now, if you're coming from a Western country, you're saying, or you might think that the level of health care relative to the cost is not that great. But the actual cost of medical care in China is a fraction of what it would cost you to get treatment in other countries. So don't worry about going to China, a hospital or a China clinic to get treatment and losing all your money and being broke and not being able to get out. That is rarely the case, only with the most serious surgeries or ailments. So if you're in Hong Kong or Macau, your chances are much better. Most of the doctors and in Taiwan speak and write their notes in English, so that you should not have any problems communicating or getting the care that you need. So if you get in trouble in China, you get sick, don't be afraid to go to the hospitals. You will get good care, and hopefully you'll get out alive and have a good experience.